Hi guys, it's Alice. 皆さんこんにちは、アリスです。はい、ということでですね、I'm thinking that I'm gonna speak in English on this video because it's just like sometimes maybe it's nice to speak in English, right? Yeah, so I'm gonna continue like that. So today's video, I'm gonna make dress for the first time. But this dress is for beginners, so I think it is nice to make that, I guess. So I'm just gonna make the dress from scratch. This dress is made by Katsi-san, and she's also making her pattern herself. So I'm just gonna put the link down below. If you feel like, oh, I wanna make it as well, please use the link. I cut it all of the fabrics yesterday. It took me 3 hours, or actually 2.5 hours something. Yeah, because I don't know anything about, cutting, and I like to watch video, sewing video or DIY video, something like that, but I never done it before, like in real life. So it turned out it was pretty difficult. So I hope I can make nicely, but who knows? Yeah. Alright, so guys, let's get started. So we're gonna start from this strap. Yep.
So now we're gonna make 360 centimeters of strings. So you put the two strips of fabrics and stitch diagonal way like this. And once you unfold it, you can make long straight line strips. Voila! So once you finish to sew together, it's gonna be like this. And you should cut out the excess fabric and open the seam allowance and iron it. Once you finish that, we're gonna hold on to the half and do the straight line stitch 7.5 millimeters from the side. So once you finish to sew until the end, we're gonna cut out the string into 90 centimeters each, and then we can make 4 straps. So now we're gonna use a loop turner. Put the loop turner into one end of the fabric tube and scrunch the fabric up until part of the loop turner is coming out at the other end. Scrunch, scrunch, scrunch. So now you're gonna hook the fabric to this tiny little guy. Can you see that? Yes, this guy. So this guy, so you can just hook this. You can do it. You can do it. I did it. So now you can just pull the fabric up, and once you have started, it should be pretty easy to just put this slowly tube. I guess as you can see, I could make the nice strings. So now you can just use the lighter to finish the edges. You can use this technique if you are using synthetic materials, but if you're using natural fabrics, please don't do it because your house is gonna be on fire.
Ta-da! I did it, guys. Look at this. So beautiful, isn't it? Oh my gosh, guys. Finally, I finished those strings. Oh my gosh, look at this. Oh dear. So I think I started 2 p.m. And now, Alexa, what time is it?
It's 4:47 p.m.
4:47 p.m. It took almost 3 hours. How even? Oh my god. So I'm gonna move on to the top one. I don't know how long does it take, guys. I hope I can finish it less than 2 hours.
Okay guys, as you can see I look pretty tired, but let's move on to the next part. So now we're just gonna close the darts and iron it. This was the front piece and this is the facing parts. So we're gonna do the same thing, just close the darts, and this part we have to sew the center line as well. So actually I shouldn't have cut this part, but it turned out it was fine. So if you made the same mistake, it's gonna be fine. So we're just gonna open the center line and iron the darts again. So now we're gonna use the interfacing tape and put them to front and facing pieces. So once you finish to put those tapes, we're just gonna move on to these straps. So you can just put the 4 straps into the corners of the facing pieces and just sew it together. And then after that, put the front pieces and sew the around edges. Maybe you realize that facing part is a little bit smaller, but apparently it's fine. Once you turn it over, it's gonna be okay. So once you finished it, you have to cut the side part. We're gonna do this because once you flipped over the fabric sides together, it's gonna lay more flat and nicely. So we just have to cut the excess fabrics. So the center line as well, and then we just flipped over and it turned out pretty nicely. So what we have to do now is just sew the edges again. By doing this, bodice part looks more neatly and more easy to iron them. So we're just gonna finish it by sewing these edges.
Now I finished this cute little top. Oh my god, it looks nice, right? It's my first time to make it from scratch. Looks a little bit like ちょっとだけシワシワ, but I think it's okay. Alright, so I'm just gonna move on to this card part.
Okay, so we're just gonna take 3 pieces of fabric for the skirt and do this straight line stitch. But before that, we're gonna just iron the fabric with a gland to avoid stretch the fabrics. So after that, we're gonna just do the straight stitch, and then we wanna do the overlock the hem. But since I don't have overlock sewing machine, so I just set up my sewing machine to the overlock kind of finish stitch, and then it turned out it was pretty nice. I'm pretty happy with this hem. So now we're just gonna take the bodice part, put the notches with the skirt part of the notches, and then sew it together.
Oh dear. Hi guys. I'm pretty tired, but I'm gonna continue. I'm gonna finish this dress today. So I'm just gonna sew right here and see how it's gonna turn out. I'm thirsty. There's 2 notches. What is happening? I finished it. Oh, いいんじゃない結構. It looks good. Looks pretty nice. So I'm gonna overlock here, which is technically it's not overlock, but this sewing machine has that kind of feature, so I'm gonna use that one. So I'm gonna change this guy to this one. Ba ba bum 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 ba bum. Oh my gosh, my neck is almost dead. Look, it looks pretty nice. Okay guys, now I'm gonna hem the skirt like this. And then finally I'm gonna put the zipper and then I'm gonna finish this dress. Oh my gosh guys, finally I finished it! It's 11 p.m. now. It takes me one day, but it was nice project I think. It looks nice, like this zipper part was a little bit difficult for me, so it didn't match the ending part, but actually it looks good. Okay, so guys, so that's all for my sewing journey, my sewing project. It was pretty tough. I'm so tired and my brain's dead, but I enjoyed it a lot. When I make this again, I think I can finish it more earlier than today, and I think my sewing skills are leveled up just a little bit. Alright, so thank you so much guys for watching, and I hope you guys enjoyed my video, and please tell me if you guys have any tips for sewing, what I did today, or like what you want me to try to sew, and it would be helpful. Anyway, thank you so much and enjoy how it turns out. Bye.